Hello friends, in this video I will make an earth oven to bake pizza, bread and other foods in it. What makes this cooking method so attractive is the ease of constructing such an oven. It is basically a miniature version of a traditional Russian stove made from rocks and dirt. Because of its simplicity of design, anyone with no previous construction experience can easily make one. This oven heats up quickly, requires a minimal amount of firewood, and can fit a large skillet. You can even use this oven to heat a camping tent sauna. Here is the story of how I came up with this design. You may have seen some of my videos about the construction of my log cabin from 2015, which used extra large falling trees for lumber. These logs were wet and really heavy, which meant they required special hoists and blocks to move them to the build site. This is why I only managed to finish the log cabin's construction last summer. In the process of uprooting pine tree stumps, I noticed the roots were highly saturated with oils. This gave me the idea to build a tar distillery to extract tar from the oily roots. While I was taking a break from log cabin construction, I dug a hole to begin the process of making the distillery. Then, 2 weeks into my stay in the outdoors, I ran out of bread. So I decided to use the unfinished tar distillery stove to bake some bread for myself. It wasn't quite successful as the rain kept the dough from rising. It ended up very dense and dry, which was still better than nothing. This failure inspired me to make a real earth oven that can efficiently bake foods. By using the distillery's structure, I enlarged the hole in its foundation in order to make a dome and a slot for the skillet to slide in. Note: before making the stone dome, I laid out some gravel at the bottom of the earth oven for better heat insulation. Otherwise, you will lose a lot of heat to warming up our planet's lithosphere. In other words, gravel at the bottom and a second layer of flat rocks on the sides will significantly improve your oven's efficiency by minimizing the contact surface of the oven's dome with the ground. Such oven will require less firewood to reach and maintain your needed baking temperature and will stay hot for over 6 hours. The secret to making a reliable and efficient earth oven is the rock wedge construction used to make the crown of the dome and a second layer of flat rocks on the sides where the dome's side walls make contact with the ground inside the hole. Building a dome at ground level, as in with no hole, would make it very unstable. If you were to use one rock to cover the top of the oven, it could crack from the heat, causing the dome to implode as well. Instead, it is better to use a few wedge-shaped rocks that can make a dome-shaped vault. The keystone in our oven should be positioned in the dome's crown with its narrow side down as a wedge. In this case, if one of the rocks crack from heat, it will still keep the structure from imploding. Admittedly, I've never made pizza in my life, so I ended up making all possible novice mistakes. I prepared the crust too small, so some of the pizza's topping overflowed it. I didn't add cheese. Well, I didn't have it with me, but I had fresh mushrooms, tomato paste, and salami. Regardless of the lack of cheese, my pizza ended up being very delicious. It was a particularly savory dish as I ran out of bread supply a few days ago and started craving it. Okay, the soot burned out on the inner surfaces of the dome's rocks. It means the oven is properly preheated. I put the pizza inside and to my surprise, it was well cooked in only 3 minutes. Next year, I will make sure I have cheese with me, as preparing pizza in the woods is quick, practical, and a lot of fun. While working on my pizza, I also cooked this freshly caught pike. My oven allows me to slow cook fish and bread in it. This slow-cooked freshly caught pike was particularly tasty. As you may remember, The idea of cooking pizza came with digging the hole for my tar distillery. 2 years later, I finally built it and was able to make tar, pitch, and other useful byproducts. The tar distillery was built next to the original site where the earth oven is now. I built both ovens near water for safety reasons. The earth oven has been used for 3 years now, with all the original rocks still in place. As predicted, one large wedged rock cracked from overheating, but it didn't cause any damage to the earth oven. The only improvement I had made to it is I sealed the cracks between the rocks with clay and added a wooden door. Now the oven can maintain the needed cooking temperature for over 6 hours. If you saw my other videos, you know that I've built a log cabin in the wilderness. You can find videos about it in the My Log Cabin playlist on Advoca Makes. I will keep adding new log cabin videos there. It was a pity the vacation was too short and I only managed to work on a few projects besides my log cabin and my cooking experiments. In addition, I finished building a catamaran and was able to briefly test it. I have approximately 30 videos awaiting editing. I hope I'll have enough time to publish at least half of them in the near future. So if you saw something you liked, please write it down in the comment section. It will help me determine which video I should make next. If you liked this video, perhaps you could share it with your friends. Let good people watch good videos. This is Maxi Gorov, St. Petersburg, Russia.